it out in the Premier League as there's another match day just around the corner, including the Manchester derby. We've got all that to talk about and much more coming up right here, live. Bollocks, we're still not live. That's right, folks, back once again with another prediction video. This time we'll take a look. What is it? Match day number 16 out of the Premier League. And we'll get to that in just 1 second. If you're new to the channel, smash your subscribe button. Keep your bang up to date with all things Premier League related, Blackburn Rovers related, well, football. We're all here, right here, under Warowski. That's right. Flipping heck, the previous match day has just finished. It's just been done. Whoa, focus. I am here. Yeah, it's only just finished, folks, but we're going to get straight into the thick of things because it is match day number 16 right around the corner, and it's got lots of drama in just a few days. Boy, oh boy, who's had the better week? Who's had the better week of football? 3 games in about 8 days, something like that. Let's have a quick scan of that before we jump into it. So, Manchester, obviously, I'm looking at the middle of the road teams like your West Broms, your Manchester Uniteds, perhaps. What did they get on? No, they had a bit of a shitty one. Obviously, Leicester did pretty well. Southampton, they looked like they had a good couple of games, and if they can go into West Ham and win 3 on the spin, you know what? Their season's back on track. But anyway, folks, let's get cracking and take a look at how both you and I both got on last time. And I do apologise for all you guys waiting for the live shows because of I had a bit of an issue this week with stuff at work, so I couldn't really pencil in a date or a time. And then because it's so much, such little time to get yourself ready, I thought, you know what, I'm just going to record it. We'll get back to live stuff very, very soon. Anyway, folks, so let's get going. Take a look at how both you and I got on. I tell you what, a lot of us did very, very well, and some of us did pretty shitty. 0 to 3, you're in the shit-face gang. 4 to 6, you're in the straight-face club. And then if you get 7+, there might be a couple of top bananas this week. So let's get going. Crystal Palace, they have a good couple of days. Obviously, they beat Bournemouth, and they also beat somebody last weekend. They beat Burnley as well. So they're on 2 wins out of 2. Can they make it a 3-peat this weekend? Anyway, they did beat Bournemouth 1-0. 2-1 for me. Not too shabby indeed. Manchester City took care of them 6-fingered freakazoids. 4-1. Actually, I'm the 3-1 win myself, not too shabby. Leicester did take care of business, and I got that one bang on the nose, boys. 2-0 in the end. Got it bang on point. Wolverhampton Wanderers did beat West Ham in the Battle of the W's. 2-0 in the end. 2-1 for me. And yes, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer pulled all over Mourinho's eyes. 2-1 at Old Trafford. Actually went 3-2 the other way. So a bit of a blip there. Chelsea did take care of Aston Villa. 2-1 in the end. 2-0 for me. Not too shabby. Southampton did take care of business against Norwich. 2-1. Bang on the nose, boys. Bang on the pissing nose. Liverpool put 5. That's right. 5 past now managerless Everton. 5-2 in the end. 4-2 for me. And not too shabby indeed. Sheffield United slipped up at home to Newcastle United. That's a bit of a shocker there. 2-0 in the end. Actually went 2-1 in favour of the Blades. And then Arsenal did lose at home. Managerless Arsenal did lose to Brighton. 2-1 at the Emirates. And I actually went 2-1 the other way. So, yeah, that's what it looks like. And I got myself a top banana this week, boys and girls. Top banana. So let's kick it all off with Thapa Ramos. Now, he did not put that much effort in with his prediction, but he did get top banana. We'll give him a round of applause for that one. Brian Genus did okay for himself. Hayden Chapman, not too shabby. Oh, Maggie Monday, also not too shabby as well. Round of applause for you, top banana. Suresh Limbu, not too shabby. Francesco Timotoi did okay for himself. Thuto Minye, not too shabby. Malajo Milankovic, not too bad as well. Joel Cook, round of applause for Joel Cook. Give him a round of applause, everybody. Shepherd did okay for himself, as did, Shane O'Donnell. He stepped it up a notch as well. Round of applause for Shane O'Donnell. Brenda Shaw, the ever-present Brenda Shaw, did okay for himself. Poker Joker, not too shabby. Elgin Cow, not too shabby as well. Lewis Hodgkinson at Tracy. Another standing ovation. That's right, you guys got top banana. 5 years in that cluster. How about this batch, boys? Okay, well, he did pretty much okay this time out. Stephen Selig, he also did pretty top banana for Stephen Selig. Ching Yang Sheng Love did okay for himself. Mr. F1 Ryan did okay for himself. Lorraine Dessar, not too shabby as well. Noco Drinker, not too shabby. Samuel Savarera, he did okay for himself. Joe Turner, not too shabby. Sander Klepp, not Klopp, but he did alright for himself. Yar for FMBP. Terrible. Absolutely woeful. The Italian Devil, not too shabby as well. Marius Christensen, not too shabby. Matthew CCF did okay for himself. Vincent Hung, not too shabby. And Laudi Grindlen, not too shabby. How about these bad boys? Ultra Omer Murat, he did okay for himself. Tyrone Hodges, not too shabby as well. Yannick Buster did tip-top for himself. Charlie Anderson, not bad as well. Ree did okay. Billy Spencer, not too shabby. Russell Frost, though, welcome to the Top Banana Club. Nathan Heaver scraped in with an okay. Kasu Aki Cham, not too shabby as well. Frank Jaros, he did okay for himself. Byron Smith, he also's in the Top Banana gang. And Jim Makos, 25 XD, not too shabby. And your Nan did all right for herself. Into the final cluster now. Hello Vlogs, Chayla, John Kedwood did pretty shitty. Adia Petra, not too shabby. Ranjit Kayu, not too shabby. And we are QPR, not too shabby. So all you guys that got Top Banana, I'll give you another standing ovation as we head into match day number 16. But this is what the table currently looks like out in the Premier League. So let's take a little look at that, shall ya? Liverpool lead the way, Leicester second, Manchester City in third, and Chelsea are in fourth. Down the bottom is Watford, Norwich, and Everton going down. Managerless Everton, eh? Who's going to come in and take over those hot seats? We'll take a little look. Maybe even talk about that in a minute. So let's go take a look at that very first game of this next weekend. It is Everton up against Chelsea at Goodison Park. It looks like Duncan Ferguson is going to be taking charge of Everton for this next game, like up against Chelsea, up with Frank Lampard and that. So, can Everton bounce back with the new manager? Like, will David Moyes come in, or will they go for some other foreign fella? That's my best Scouse accent I can get for you today. But I'm out. Anyway, so Everton taking on Chelsea this next weekend. Let's take a look at the last six between the two sides. Just one win for Everton. 3 wins for Chelsea and 2 draws along the way. The bookmakers will go with Everton on this one. 5-2 for Everton, 11-4 the draw. Chelsea are even, so they are favourites to take this one on Saturday. It is the early kickoff, 12:30 for me. In fact, 12:30 for you guys. It's like 7:30 for me in the morning. Everton come into this obviously in the drop zone. They are 18th spot on the table. Win for them though could shoot them up to at least 14th. Chelsea are in 4th, and a win for them could potentially see them go up to 3rd, but we doubt it. We doubt it severely. Even though with or without Silva in charge, with or without Duncan Ferguson in charge, I still think this game will be a 2-1 victory for Chelsea in the end. So they've got a big old couple of games on the roster pretty soon. They could be sucked into that relegation trouble deep hard unless they get their managerial appointment spot on. Anyway, so I'm going to go with a Chelsea victory over Everton. Next up we have Bournemouth up against Liverpool. Obviously Liverpool looking absolutely dominant at the moment. Played 15, won 14, just the one draw. Up against the Bournemouth side, hit a bit of a rough patch of late. 4 defeats on the spin. Their record against Liverpool is pretty terrible. They've only won once, they've drawn once, and they've lost 4. This match last season ended up as a 4-0 win for Liverpool away from home as well. Goal scorers on that day, Mo Salah got himself a hat-trick and Stevie Cook got himself a big fat OG. The bookies will go with Liverpool 5-2 on Bournemouth, 13-2. 4-1. The draw. No, make sure you get your predictions in nice and early for this one. I will be live next time around. I promise you. But cannot see anything but a 3-1 win, or an away win at least. Liverpool will keep on the charge. Eddie Howe, could he be tempted with the Everton job? Liverpool have actually won 9 of their last matches against Bournemouth in all competitions. Just putting that out there. But yes, going to go with Liverpool to maintain their invincible status. Next up, we have Mourinho's Spurs up against them 6-figured freakazoids with Sean the Ginger Mourinho in charge of Burnley. Now, the Ginger Mourinho could also be tempted by the Everton job at Goodison Park. Maybe it's a big step up for him, change of scenery and all that kind of goes. Bringing his dingle ways over to Everton. Could he be tempted? I'm sure he'd be tempted, but I don't think they'll go for him. The last 6 between two sides, 4 wins for Spurs, 1 win for the Freaks, and 1 draw along the way. This match last season ended up as just a 1-0 win. That was back around about the same time as well, 15th of December. The goal scorer on that day, of course, it was none other than Christian Eriksen, who's weeding out his contract at the moment. Now, the bookmakers' odds on this one, 38-100, 15-4 the draw, 50-2 the away win. So Spurs are favourites with Mourinho in charge. Burnley head into this 12th in the table. Just 2 wins out of the past 6. The Spuds are up to 8th. Actually, 2 defeats out of the past 6 as well. But they're only the first defeat at 4 from the Manchester game just midweek. So they're looking good, but they'll need to get back to winning ways again. in recent times as well, because Mourinho needs to get the ball rolling and start charging up into those Europa League spots and then into the Champions League spots. Tottenham have actually won 6 of the last 7 home matches against Burnley in all competitions, so that's another statistic for you. I'm going to go with Mourinho, the real one, not the ginger one, 3-1 in the end, with Spurs taking all 3 points. Next up, we have Watford, managerless Watford. Managerless Watford, managerless Arsenal, managerless Everton. It's a merry-go-round of faces at the moment in the Premier League. So they take on Crystal Palace. Now the previous record between these two sides. So the last 6 games between managerless Watford and Crystal Palace have gone like this. 3 victories for the Hornets, 2 victories for Palace, 1 draw along the way. This match last season ended up as a 2-1 win. In fact, yeah, it was a 2-1 win. In the Premier League. They also duked it out in the FA Cup. It was a 2-1 win as well for Watford. So they're looking good against Crystal Palace. And I fancy them. I do fancy them to get the better of Crystal Palace this time around. Bookmakers odds 27-20 for the home team, 21-10. The away team 23-10. The draw. Watford obviously bottom of the table, 8 points on the board. A win for them though could potentially see them leapfrog Norwich if goals difference can get sorted out. Crystal Palace come into this 7th in the table. Back-to-back wins for them. I did talk about that earlier. Looking for 3 wins in a week. But they're going to only get a draw for me. I think Palace will only muster a draw. It'll be an unbeaten week for them, but 7 points at the possible line, not too shabby indeed. But next up, we have the big one of the week, and that is Manchester City against Manchester United. Now, Manchester United have got themselves a nice little run of form of late. 4 games without a loss. Manchester City actually got worse form heading into this game. They've actually picked up 7 points out of the possible 4 games, whereas Manchester United have actually picked up 8. So they're actually better form coming into this, but will that deter Manchester City from putting up a bit of a barnstorming performance against their rivals? Now, the last 6 between 2 sides, 3 wins for City, 2 wins for United and 1 draw along the way. This match last season ended up as a comfortable 3-1 win for Manchester City. In fact, the last time that Manchester United picked up a victory was in 2018. It was at the City Ground as well, or at the Etihad. So it's not been too long ago. They'll fancy that. I think they'll be up for it, but I just don't think they're going to get it, if I'm completely honest with you. Bookmakers odds 2-7 on for Manchester City, 92 the draw, 10-1 the away win. Can anyone see anything but a win for Manchester City? I can't. But a win for United, if they so choose it, they could leapfrog Wolverhampton Wanderers into 5th spot, and that could potentially close the gap to just 5 points of Chelsea in the Champions League spots. I'm going to go with a 4-1 win. Yeah, that's right, 4-1 win for Manchester City. All eyes will be on that game when it comes around. So all eyes on that bad boy. Next up, we have into Sunday's matches is Aston Villa up against Leicester City. Now, Leicester City look absolutely red hot at the moment. 2 wins for Villa, 3 wins for Leicester at the past 6, 1 draw along the way. This, the last time they did duke it out at Villa Park, ended up as a 1-1 draw. That was back in 2016 with Rudy Gestede scoring for Villa and Shinji Ozanaki scoring the goal for Leicester. Leicester obviously in 2nd spot at the moment, looking to close the gap to just 5 points with a win, and hopefully Liverpool will slip up. But it's a lot of ifs, ands and maybes. Villa come into this 16th at the table, 15 points on the board. 1 defeat at the past 3, and that was last time out as well. It's an uphill task, I'm afraid, for Aston Villa, but they are at home, so I do fancy them chances to possibly squeak a draw. 16-5 the home win, 14-5 the draw, 5-6 on for Leicester City. I'm actually going to give it to Leicester, but only just with a 1-goal margin between the two sides. I think they've been winning games like Liverpool a little bit iffy of late. Obviously, Liverpool did barnstorm Everton, but recently it's just been the 1-goal swing, and I think Leicester are in that sort of zone right now. They're just squeaking by, and I think they'll just squeak by Villa on this one. Another hot team at the moment is Newcastle United up against another hot team, Southampton, and they duke it out at St James's Park this coming match day. Where is the form book on this one? Newcastle are actually just the 1 defeat out of the past 6. They sit in 11th in the table. Southampton, like I said, 2 wins out of 2, unbeaten in 3. They sit 17th in the table, 15 points on the board. A win for Southampton could shoot them up to 12th spot, just behind Newcastle in the table. A win for the Toon, and they could be up as high as 6th. That's right, Stevie Bruce's Newcastle could be as high as 6th in the table. Now, the bookmakers' odds on this one are, well, not the bookmakers' odds, the past 6 games between the two sides. 2 wins for the Toon, 1 win for Southampton, 3 draws along the way. Bookmakers, what do they think on this one? They go with 8-5 for the Geordies, 9-5 the away team, and 11-5 the draw. So it's a very fine margin between Newcastle and the Saints. Stevie Bruce has gone working wonders. I'm thinking I'm going to give him the 3 points on this one as well. 2-0 in the end for the Toon, and they should rise a little bit in the table. Next up, we have Norwich up against Sheffield United. Now, Norwich had a decent little run there, but they did slip up last time out against... Who did they just play? They just played flipping... Who did they just play? I can't remember. We just talked about it. They just played Southampton and they lost 2-1. Up against the Sheffield United side, who've also hit a bit of a blip of late. Just the one winner, 6 for Sheffield United. There's 4 draws in that cluster of 6 games. So they could be on the wane themselves. Sheffield United, a win for them though. They could see them go to 6th in the table. A win for Norwich could see them go to 18th, which will be one step closer to avoiding the drop. The bookmakers' odds on this sucker, they go 90-10 for Norwich, 11-8 for Sheffield United, 5-2 the draw. The Canaries at home should snatch this. Cantwell, Pookie and the gang will get the 3 points. There'll be 3 goals in it, but they'll all go to flipping Norwich. Next up we have Brighton of Albion up against Wolves. Now Brighton are also a team on the rise, actually after their big win against Arsenal, lastminute.com. Before that, it was 3 defeats on the spin. But when you look at the grand scheme of their form, it's 3 wins and 3 defeats out of the last 6 games. They sit 13th at the table. A win for them could jump up to 7th, maybe even 6th on goal difference. Wolves, though, they're up to 5th and they look good right now. A win for them. They're unbeaten in 6. A win for Wolves could see them close the gap to just 3 points to those Champions League spots. And most importantly, Chelsea. Bookmakers' odds on this very tight one could go either way. 70-10 for Brighton, 7-4 the away win, 11-5 the draw. I've just given it to Brighton. I think their morale boosting victory against the Gunners last time, or quite recently, was it last time out? It was last time. I'm just a little bit tired because it was the lastminute.com winner. It's going to give them the mojo away from home, boys and girls. Away from home, we'll give them the mojo to get over the line and get the big fat 3 points. And finally, wrapping up this match day, it'll be an all-London affair. It'll be on Monday Night Football as well. The Hammers up against the Gunners at the West Ham's new stadium, the London Stadium, or whatever they call it. The last 6 games between the two sides, 1 win for West Ham, 4 wins for the Arsenal, 1 draw along the way. This match last season ended up as a 1-0 win. It was around about the same time of year as well, back in January. Declan Rice with the one and only goal, 48th minute, if I can remember it. I think it might have been a bit of a screamer. West Ham have actually been... Arsenal have actually failed to win in the last 6 away matches in the Premier League, and they've conceded at least 2 goals in the last 3 matches, so there could be a bit of a leaky defence. Bookmakers' odds on this one, 12-5 for the Hammers, evens for Arsenal, 3-1 the draw. Arsenal look clueless at the minute. They need something a bit special at the moment to try and get themselves moving in the right direction. Will they get it this weekend against the Hammers? I'll just take a look at some of the latest odds here. We'll talk about the odds and the managers in a minute. But anyway, I'm actually going to give it to West Ham here at home. 2-1 win. Arsenal clueless, headless. They won't get a new manager in time for this weekend. So too little, too late. But yes, if my results, all my predictions come on in, this is what the Premier League table would look like. It would look like this. And it would see Liverpool top of the table again. Leicester City 2nd, Manchester City 3rd, and Chelsea 4th. As you were, really. Tottenham would be the biggest movers, up to 5th. Down the bottom would be Watford, Norwich, and Everton still in the drop zone. As we head back into the old behind my desk, let's take a look at some of the odds now for the next managers. Next permanent Watford manager, Nigel Pearson. How boring is that? 5-4 on. So he's like red hot favourite. My little sidebar would be Sam Allardyce, 6-4. He smells like a winner. He could get them out of that trouble, no questions. Then you look at it, Marco Silva, just been binned off by Everton, 18-1. Sparky Hughes, 10-1. Don't think so. Quichi Shaitan, 10-1, I'm not too sure about him. And Alan Pardew also sounds very boring, and I'd stay away from that. Next, what about the next Everton manager? Well, Victor Pereira is the one they want, 6-5 to take it. 11-8 is David Moyes. Marcel Gallardo's 10-1. Eddie Howe's 10-1. Duncan Ferguson's 12-1. Philippe Neville, a.k.a. Gary Neville's brother, he's 12-1. And then if you want to take a look at the Arsenal's next manager, Freddie Ljungberg's 3-1. Oh, how... I'm not cracking player. Yep, don't get me wrong, but that's a shady one there. 5-1 for Mikel Arteta, untested. You know what? I wouldn't go there. Brendan Rodgers is 5-1. Patrick Vieira 6-1. Massimiliano Allegri 7-1, and Eddie Howe is 8-1. Eddie Howe would be an absolute belter for Arsenal, but they're just not good, and they're not brave enough to make a decision like that. You know what? Brendan Rodgers is probably your wise option. Eddie Howe's your exciting option. Mikel Arteta's probably going to get it. I'd say so. Former Gunner, he's been waiting for a big job. I don't know why he deserves to walk straight into a job like that. I think Eddie Howe has done his bit. At Bournemouth, he should either go... Realistically, I would go with, if I was making my decisions, if I could weigh more, Sam Allardyce for Watford, no questions. Eddie Howe for Everton. Brendan Rodgers for Arsenal. That would be my picks. But I don't know why Brendan Rodgers would leave Leicester, because they're doing absolute bits. Eddie Howe could do with a change of scenery as well. Yeah. Anyhow, that's my picks. What do you think about the managerial roundabout of the old Premier League? Give me your thoughts and predictions in the comment section about the Premier League jobs, but also give me your predictions in the comment section down below. We'll do this all again, and we'll do it live next week for the Premier League as we head into match day number 70. It kind of slows down a little bit before it picks up again, if you know what I mean. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, smash that thumbs up. If you're new, smash the subscribe. New videos every single day right here on the channel. And also be sure to check out my Champions League picks. They're also live. They're also coming up. Check them out. Until then, I'm out. Thanks again for watching. Please like, share, and most importantly, hit the subscribe button to keep you bang up to date with all things Blackburn Rovers related, Championship related, football related. We've got it all covered right under one roof. And while I still have you, please be sure to check out some of the old videos scattered along here. I hope.